Welcome everyone. This is Robin Duncan, and this is our EFT Prayer Tapping series on sexual abuse. And we are now on part 3 of 8 of this 8-part series, and our topic is on anger and resentment. In our last class, we dedicated that class to releasing feelings of loss of power and confidence. And these are things that tend to happen when we go through something as serious and traumatic as sexual abuse. If you have not listened to the replays from this series, it's a good idea to watch the replays as many times as you need to until all the negative charges are neutralized. And the way that you'll know is when you go through the replay or you read the script for yourself, there's just no emotions floating to the surface. You'll feel as if they have simply left your body. You'll still have the memory, unfortunately, but you will no longer feel charged by those memories. And that's really what we're after, because that's when we can allow a much happier life to emerge. So anyone may attend our live events that we have each time. Again, we're on number 3 of 8. And if you sign up to be a registered member of this series, you receive access to all video replays that you can play again and again. And you'll also receive copies of all EFT Prayer Tapping Scripts. And if you are not already a member, you can join through an email. Simply send that to support@miraclesforliving.com and we will send you more information. Today's topic is on anger and resentment. When you have an experience like sexual trauma or someone attacking you, restraining you, or taking control over you and your body, it is quite normal to feel angry, outraged, and resentful. The only reason I am saying this is because sometimes we have these feelings and then we judge ourselves for having those feelings. I'd like you to take a long, deep breath and realize that your feelings of anger and resentment at the person or persons who did this to you, they are normal. Sometimes we're angry at the person. Sometimes we're angry at ourselves for not knowing how to change the situation. Sometimes we're angry at God or someone else. These feelings are very normal. Keeping these feelings is another thing. You see, if you keep the feelings of anger and resentment, you will never have peace. You will never have happiness. You will never feel truly calm or safe, because anger robs you of peace. And this is something that I learned through the principles of A Course in Miracles. I didn't realize how much my own anger was robbing me of my peace. And this means that a decision must be made. You will need to decide between anger and peace, resentment and happiness, lack and abundance. You see, we cannot have both. And what I have found is that when you buy one negative feeling or emotion, you buy them all. It's a package deal. I like to think of anger as a trap set up by our ego. If we talk ourselves into feeling angry, then we forfeit our awareness of peace. You cannot have anger and peace at the same time. You cannot have truth and illusions at the same time. You cannot be happy and feel sorrow at the same time. A choice must be made. Today, through this class, I hope to help you make a higher choice for yourself. I truly understand the anger. I carried my own anger for so many years. And during those years, I watched my life depreciate, to use an accounting term. I was an accountant, so the word depreciation has a lot of meaning to me as I watched my life crumbling in front of me. I watched it crumble and fall apart. I watched as I had to sell one home and then another just to make ends meet. I watched as my money became scarce and challenges became bigger than ever before. I had no idea at the time that my anger was in the way. My anger at the person who brought me pain anger at myself for letting it happen, anger at God for not stopping it. I finally realized that my anger was destroying my life. I did not come to this conclusion out of some spiritual awareness or because I was smart or noble or quick to figure things out. I came to this conclusion after losing everything and fighting a losing battle. I came to this conclusion after I ran out of ideas. I had no more cards to play. In poker, I think they call this being crapped out, or maybe that's on the craps table. I'm not sure, but I was crapped out. When I hit my own personal bottom with anger still in my heart, I finally gave up. The bully had won. It had gotten the best of me, or so I thought. Once I finally gave up my need to solve my situation, my desire for things to change or get better, Holy Spirit finally had an entry point. You see, the bully isn't real, but I didn't know this. I tried fighting him until I could not fight anymore, and this is when things changed for the better. Along the way, once I was open to new ideas from my inner guide, I was shown that my anger and resentment was holding me down. In order for things to change, I had to be done with my anger, but I didn't know how. I had to be willing to give up my need to judge myself and judge other people. I didn't realize I was doing this to protect myself, to keep the pain from happening again. I remember being in a class and the instructor said to me, "Why are you so angry?" He was one that could see auras of people, and that really annoyed me. I thought that was really insulting and rude, and I couldn't believe he said that to me. And he was right. I still was really angry, and he could see it. As much as I thought I was so beautifully hiding it, he could see it. So after I forgave him in my heart, I began to look at my own anger and see, why is it still there? Why is it still haunting me? I had to be willing to turn it all over to higher consciousness and let it be resolved there. I was not allowing myself to do this because I did not trust that this was even possible. I was asked to trust that it could be done. This is what I learned in A Course in Miracles, is that there is relief if we will allow it, if we will welcome it. And I needed to place my faith in something that I couldn't see and that I couldn't understand. And when I couldn't trust the people around me, how could I possibly trust something that I couldn't see or understand? But I was learning from A Course in Miracles that indeed this needed to be done. This was a big leap for me. But as I said before, I was out of options. If I had been told to do 10 cartwheels and it would make me feel better, I would have figured out a way to do those cartwheels. I was tired of the pain. I was tired of being angry, tired of feeling deprived, tired of feeling broken, tired of trying to figure it out and failing. In A Course in Miracles, there's a quote that says, "The great peace of the kingdom shines in your mind forever, but it must shine outward to make you aware of it." I was not aware of this light. I was not aware of anything shining from within me. And I had no idea that my anger and resentment was blocking my awareness. Fortunately, the Course also says, decide yourself no longer that you are helpless in the face of what is done to you. Acknowledge but that you have been mistaken, and all effects of your mistakes will disappear. One thing I did know is that I had been mistaken. I could run with that. So I began my own path of willingness. You see, I didn't believe it at first, but again, I was out of options. I was still angry, nothing was working, and I thought I would give it a go. In other words, we must be willing to be wrong about our thoughts, opinions, and judgments. We must be willing to lay down the story that we have made up about ourselves and our life, and to be willing to see everything and everyone differently. I know that you can do this because I did it. And I did it at a time that I felt completely broken, vulnerable, and lost. And if I can do it, you can too. In chapter 13, it says, this world is a picture of God's Son, which includes all of us. And until you realize that God's Son cannot be crucified, this is the world you will see. Yet you will not realize this until you accept the eternal fact that God's Son is not guilty. I used to carry enough guilt for all of us. Guilt for doing it wrong. Guilt for not doing it right. Guilt for not being enough. Guilt for not having the answers. Guilt for feeling guilty. I finally learned that my commitment to guilt and anger and resentment in all of their forms, including where I saw it within myself and other people, this was destroying my life and blocking my happiness. I had to be willing to let my guilt and anger and resentment be replaced with something far more worthy of my time and attention. I needed to let it be replaced with love. Of course, I had no idea how to do this. But my inner guide, being Holy Spirit, my teacher of peace, as I call it, knew exactly what to do and how it needed to be done. Every one of us has an inner guide and teacher. You will experience this more as you ask for more help from your inner teacher. Today, I am asking you for a lot, all of you. I ask for your willingness to let your anger and resentment go, to let this be replaced with love and peace. I ask for your willingness to lay down your old story about yourself. I ask for your eagerness to be done with the painful story of the past and to reclaim the happiness that is rightfully yours. I ask for you to be wholly willing to be released from all pain and suffering. You do not need to know how to do this. You do need to be willing for this to be done. You can simply let your inner guide know that you are ready by either saying out loud or even silently to yourself, I am ready. Now let's go ahead and begin our first script for today. Our topic is on anger. And this again is an EFT Prayer Tapping Script on sexual abuse with the topic of anger. Go ahead and take a nice, deep, calming breath as we do a little tapping together. I like to combine the tapping and the prayers and the principles of A Course in Miracles because that combination is profoundly powerful in helping us to release these feelings from the past. So go ahead and tune inward to a time when someone did something and it made you very angry. Allow the details to come forward. Allow yourself to remember what you were doing, what they were doing, what was happening that made you upset. How did this make you feel? What was going through your mind? What was happening that brought up your defenses? Allow the anger that you are feeling to come forward, wherever you have tucked it away, so we can release it together. Give yourself permission to be aware of these feelings one last time so we can free you from the past. Let's go ahead now and start tapping over the heart. And you can repeat after me and say, there was a time when someone did something to me and it made me very angry. It was so upsetting, so surprising, so unthinkable, and I did not know what to do. I did not know how to stop them or keep it from happening. Let's go to the other side of the chest. I never consented to this. I never gave my permission. I never asked for this. I never wanted this. And I had to deal with it anyway. And it seemed to devour my life. Let's go to the center of the chest and say, I was so upset by what was happening. So outraged. So panicked. I was so disgusted. I did not know what to do. I did not know how to get help. I did the best I knew how at the time. I forgive myself completely for not knowing what to do. Let's go back up over the heart and say, after it happened, and I had time to think, I was so angry, so upset, so outraged that this could happen. I was angry at them. Angry I couldn't stop it. Angry that this could happen. Angry that this person could do this. And angry that I was left to deal with it. Let's go to the center of the chest. A nice prayer. Dear God, please take this from me. All the feelings of anger. All the feelings of rage and hurt and guilt and fear and shame. I want peace instead of this. I don't know how to get there, but I want these feelings gone. Completely gone. Never to bother me again. Now let's pause and take a long, deep, calming breath. Feel your shoulders relax a little bit more. Feel your spine lengthening, your neck loosening. Allow yourself to take another deep, calming breath, letting all those old feelings flow out of your body. Now let's go to the side of the hand right here and say, I am aware that I have been holding my anger, letting it be in my heart, letting it stay in my heart. I want to be free of this. I cannot be angry and happy at the same time. To have one, I must let go of the other. I want to be free of anger. And now let's go over the heart, tapping there. Say, I release all the anger, all the rage, and all the resentment. My past does not define me. My experiences do not define me. This person does not define me. No one can take my light away. No one can take my happiness away. No one can take my power away. Let's go to the center of the chest, tapping there, and say, Dear God, please take this from me and heal it for me. Let all the anger be replaced with peace. Let all my fear be replaced with love. Let all loss and sorrow be replaced with abundance and happiness. Let's pause and take another deep, calming breath. And exhale. Now remember what we are doing as we are inviting higher consciousness, which I call Holy Spirit. You can use whatever name works with your heart. You can say God, Holy Spirit, higher consciousness, higher self, universal love, divine love, whatever words speak to your heart. But we are allowing the higher and wiser part of our mind to help us with this, to take it from us, indicating our willingness. It is not up to us to heal it. It is up to us to invite the healing and allow the healing. Now let's go to the eyebrow point and say, as I release my anger, I am not condoning the wrongful actions of others. It is never okay to hurt someone, to attack someone, or do anything against their will. I am freeing myself from the pain of the past. I am releasing it for good. Now let's go to the side of the eye, tapping there, and you can tap on both sides if you wish, or one side and then the other, whatever feels peaceful to you. And say, today I choose to free myself. from the pain of the past. I am done with my old story of pain and loss and despair. You can tap on the other side. I want the truth instead of anger. I want peace instead of pain. I want a life of love instead of fear. Let's go under the eye. And again, you can alternate side to side. You can do both at once if you wish. You can say, I release all the anger, all the rage, and all the pain from every time I let this get to me. I'm going to the other side of the cheek there. Every time it took my attention, every time it blocked my relationships, other side, or my abundance, or my right to happiness. I am free of this for good. Let's pause again, taking another deep, calming breath. Just feeling your whole body beginning to loosen and release and let go. Giving yourself permission to lay it down, to choose peace instead of anger. One last round. Let's start over the heart. And our prayer is, Dear God, I've had many experiences of fear and pain and loss. Please help me remember that I am not my past. I am not my experiences. I am as you created me, entitled to happiness, and worthy of the finest that life has to offer. Now let's go to the center of the chest. You can sit up nice and tall or stand up if you wish. And repeat, I am free of the past. I have no interest in being a body of anger. I have no interest in housing more pain. I call upon the highest place in my mind to heal every thought against myself. I choose peace for myself and my life forever and ever. Let's pause and take a long, deep, calming breath. Feel the gentle sparkle. It's in your heart. It is thanking you for releasing the anger. Your heart has been burdened for a very long time. Mine was too. Heavy with the pain of the past. Heavy with the burden of anger and resentment. Today, your heart is allowed to be lighter and more peaceful. You are freeing yourself from the past. You are allowing yourself to be released from what has never defined you. You are whole and complete, exactly as you are. You are eternal spirit, free to be happy, free to feel safe. You are a being of light. And in the presence of your light, there is no darkness. And none can ever come to you. Breathe in a deep sigh of relief. The light has come, and it's here to stay. All right, take another deep, calming breath, and thank yourself for taking this time to release and let go, to clear your mind and body of all of that old anger. And you can go back over this again and again if you need to. Sometimes another situation comes up or another person that you think of. So let those feelings bubble to the surface as many times as you need to until you can read these scripts and you can tap with me or tap by yourself and there literally is nothing coming up. It is a glorious day. You see, there was a time when if I did these scripts with you, I could not have kept from crying. I could not have kept from remembering these tragic times that seemed to rob me from my happiness. But I feel good today, and I can lead you through this without all of the emotion. And that feels really good. And I want to assure you that you will get there too. Just takes a little willingness and to allow your inner guide, the room, to guide you and to let you know where you're holding on and what you need to let go of that will truly help you to move forward. Your inner guide will not fail. Let's go ahead now and go on to our second script. Even more fun. We are talking about the topic of resentment. You know, first there's anger, and I feel like resentment is even deeper and bigger. It's like when you've had that anger for a long time and then it just somehow hooks into your heart and it turns into resentment. Go ahead and take a moment to think of a time when someone did something that was against your will. Maybe you asked them to stop, and they did it anyway. Maybe you told them not to do it, and they did it anyway. Maybe you pleaded with them to stop, and they did it anyway. Maybe you were so surprised by what they did that you could not move. You felt frozen or powerless, whatever the case may be. Let's take this time together and bring up those deep feelings of resentment. I've had them too. Bring them up from wherever you have tucked them away so we can release them together. Let's go ahead now and tap over the heart and repeat after me. There was a time when something happened. It took me by surprise. I did not want it to happen. I did not ask for it to happen. And I had to deal with it anyway. There it was. There was no stopping it. No way to get around it. Let's go to the other side of the chest. It seemed to change everything. How I felt about myself, how I felt about others, how I felt about my body and my life. It seemed to cast a dark shadow over my life. A dark shadow that I could not shake off. A dark shadow I could not get away from. Let's go to the center of the chest. I was so upset by what happened because it was not fair. It was not right. No one should be treated this way. I felt resentment, unfairly treated, attacked, vulnerable, trapped, stuck, angry, unable to choose for myself. Let's go over the heart. I release all the pressure of all the resentment. I have carried it for so long. I have carried it for too long. No one should be treated this way. I should not be treated this way. I want a life that I am happy to live. A life I am safe to live in. Let's go to the center of the chest. Dear God, I bring this to you. This terrible burden. A burden I have carried for so long. I have tried everything I know to heal it and move beyond it. I am tired. I don't know how to fix it. I need help with this. Please help me with this. Let's pause and take that long, deep breath. Go ahead and stretch a little bit gently. You might feel your spine popping like mine. So let's give yourself permission to let all those feelings leave and move out of your body. Another deep, calming breath. Now let's go to the side of the hand. I release all the pain, all the sorrow, and all feelings of self-judgment. I want to be free of this. I am willing to see everything differently. Let's go over the heart. Today I come to you with my whole heart. I surrender this burden, and I place it in your hands. I surrender the person that did this to me, and I place them in your hands. Please lift me up and heal my heart of all pain and sorrow. Let's go now to the center of the chest. I am entitled to happiness. I am entitled to a life that works. I am entitled to love that doesn't hurt. I am entitled to feel safe and free of the past, free of pain, free of anger, and free of resentment. I choose freedom in all aspects of my life. Let's pause again, taking a long, deep, calming breath. Just send that flood of peace down and through your body. Choosing freedom, choosing peace. It's time, and we're doing this together. You're not alone. You're never alone. Remember this, for whenever you need help, we have each other. We have our inner guide. You're never alone. Take another deep, calming breath. Let's go now to the eyebrow point and say, if there is any place in my mind where I am holding on to resentment, or I believe that love does not exist, or is not possible, please heal that part of my mind. I want the truth instead of this. I want a life I love and look forward to. Let's go to the side of the eye. If there is any place in my mind where I am unwilling to let go of my fear because I still do not feel safe or comfortable or motivated, please heal that part of my mind. You can switch sides if you wish. I am willing to be wrong about that. I am willing to have my miracle. Now let's go under the eye, tapping there, right on the cheek point. Today I release all resistance, all hesitation, and all fear of the future. I may not know how to do this, but I am willing to let you show me what is possible. and let you bring the many blessings that are waiting for me. If I will let you, I will let you. Again, let's pause and take a breath. You're doing so well. I'm so happy that you're on this journey with me to release these things together. Can't tell you how many nights I did this by myself. I love knowing that we're doing this together. Over the heart, let's tap there. This is our last round here. Sit up nice and tall or stand up if you like. Dear God, there have been times when I have been angry at you. I thought you forgot about me. I could not feel your presence. I did not know your love. I am learning that I did not know you were there because I believed we were separate. I believed I was alone. I could not feel your presence. I did not know your love. Let's go to the other side of the chest. I want to see everything differently. I have done this the old way again and again. And it does not work. It will never work. I need your help. I want to know your love and your safety and receive all the blessings that you have for me. Let's go to the center of the chest, sitting up nice and straight or standing up. Today I open my mind and heart to the greatness of love, the gentleness of your safety, the abundance of your blessings. I am one with you. I lay down all defenses against love. I stand in the light of who I am as you created me. I welcome love into my heart. Now pause and just place your hand over your heart. I welcome love into my home, into my life. I am willing to imagine that all of this is possible. Let's pause and take a long, deep breath and feel the waves of peace flowing from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. You have done it. You are opening the funnel to love and happiness and joy and abundance and peace. The funnel has always been there. But this has not been known while darkness seemed real, or when anger seemed justified, or when pain is in the way. Feel the flood of the blessings flowing over you and through you and as you. You are the light. You are entitled to happiness. You are worthy of everything good, the finest that life has to offer. Breathe it in and feel the smile in your heart of gratitude and appreciation. Whether you feel it or sense it, or you're simply willing to welcome it, let it be. Let love come shining through. Leave that door open. You'll be so glad that you did. All right, let's take another deep, calming breath. We have a nice little guided meditation to go through. If you need to get a quick drink or fidget around into your chair and make yourself comfortable, you can do that. Remember that you are entitled to everything good, the finest that life has to offer. We are opening our mind and heart to remember our true self. It might happen quickly, might happen slowly, but it will happen because it's the truth. Our part is the willingness, and higher consciousness has a role in accomplishing the healing for us. Let's go ahead now and get nice and comfortable, and we will begin our guided meditation. Just a quick meditation to reframe some things and help ourselves to move forward with strength and peace. This one is called the Theater of Life. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take in a nice, deep, calming breath and allow your arms and legs to completely relax. Draw in another deep breath and loosen up your neck and shoulders and send all remaining tension down and out of your body with each exhale. Go ahead and do this several times as we take a little journey together. I'd like you to imagine that you are seated in a theater and you are waiting for the movie to start. You have been in this theater many times. You are fidgeting around in your chair, getting comfortable before the movie begins. The previews begin to play, and you notice that every one of the previews has a dark component. Well, some of those previews are funny. Some are sad. But each preview comes with a little dose of darkness or loss or pain, things you are very used to. And after the previews are done, the main movie begins to play. You look up at the screen and you see yourself as the starring role. You are shocked. You are surprised. What is happening here? You watch in amazement with your eyes glued to the screen. There you are. You are the star of the movie. How can this be? Gradually, you see the cast names sprawled over the screen as you watch the opening credits. You can't believe it. You see names of people in your life that were so long ago, and they're moving quickly across the screen. You feel yourself beginning to shrink back in your chair as some of those names bring back bad memories, some terrible memories, memories you were trying to forget. What is this about? What is happening here? You can't take your eyes off of the screen. The movie title appears on the screen, and the movie is called Seek, but Do Not Find. Seek, but do not find. Doesn't that make sense? For you have been seeking happiness for most of your life, and you haven't found what you were looking for. This movie is your life, with all the ups and downs, all the good times and bad, all the happy moments and the terrible ones. There it is on the wide screen for everyone to see. You glance around the theater and then you realize that you're alone. What happened to everyone else? Where did they go? It is just you now, watching your life play out in front of you. As the movie begins, you watch the scenes unfold. Scenes you have seen 100 times in your mind. There they are again, playing on the wide screen, only this time they seem more real than ever before. You hear the sounds, you watch the images. You have seen this movie too many times before. You want the movie to end, yet you cannot stop watching. There are those people, the ones that caused you so much pain, the ones that brought so much darkness and sorrow into your life, the ones that made you feel small, vulnerable, and inadequate, the ones that robbed you of your self-respect and love and dignity. There they are, right there on the screen, once again, in front of you, robbing you of peace all over again. You see yourself on the screen as the person that all of this happened to, the one who was attacked, the one who felt powerless, the one who was denied happiness again and again. The feelings are coming up, feelings of regret, feelings of sadness, maybe feelings of anger. You are so tired of this movie, but you can't stop watching. Your emotions are growing stronger. You don't like this movie. You want it to end, but you don't know how to make it end. You feel the emotions surging even higher. You think of all the wasted moments, wasted time, wasted friendships, the pain, the tears, the patterns. You think of how long you've been watching this old movie, and it makes you feel sick. You finally close your eyes in disgust. And in that moment, in this moment, you are done with it. You have no interest in seeing that movie ever again. And you lift up a silent prayer. Dear God, if you are listening, please take this movie away. Please heal my life. I want it to be different. I want happiness instead of pain. As you sit in your seat, you are flooded by emotions. And all of a sudden, you feel a tap on your shoulder. You turn to see the manager of the theater. You are surprised and a little embarrassed. They look at you with a warm smile, and they extend their hand to you, asking that you come with them. You hesitate, but they have a very warm look in their eyes, and they offer again with their hand reaching out to you. You finally take their hand, and they help you out of your seat. They are so gentle, so reassuring. They guide you to the back of the theater and up a flight of stairs. You realize that they are taking you into the projector room, the place where the movie is playing. You enter the room and see a large film playing on the projector. It must be the movie that you were just watching. You look closer, and on the side of the movie, it has your name on it. How did this happen? You turn back to the manager to ask questions, and this time, the manager is standing in front of you as a being of light. They radiate in light and love and warmth. They are sparkling in golden light. This being of light asks you to take a seat. He lets you know that he saw you in the theater. He could feel that you were upset. And he heard your call for help. He heard your desire for the movie to change. He points over to the projector and tells you that for a very long time, this movie has been playing, and a very long time ago, it was you that placed the movie on the projector. You put it there. And only you can authorize its removal. There are many other happier movies to choose from, but in order to change out that old movie of seek but do not find, you must want this with your whole heart. You must want only this. And once you do, the movie will be changed for you. He says, I will change it for you. Yet I cannot change anything that you are not done with. For I represent love, and love will never decide for you. Love will never control your thoughts or your decisions. This must be decided by you. The being of light explains that you have been in this theater for a very long time. Your eyes have been glued to the screen. You have tried to solve the problems in the movie. You have tried talking to the characters on the screen. You have tried to get them to act differently. You have tried and tried and tried to make things different, make things better. You have tried changing yourself to get a different outcome, a happier outcome. But it hasn't worked. It doesn't work that way. The movie is an effect of the film in the projector room. And the projector is in your mind. The only way to change out the old movie is you must be done with needing it, done with seeing it the way it was ever again. Be done with trying to fix it or solve it. Be done with the old story of pain. Be done with seeing others as a form of darkness in your life. Be done with seeing yourself as broken, inadequate, or powerless. You must be done with it all, and then it will be undone for you. The being of light asks you one last time if you are done with the old movie, and you eagerly say, yes, of course. But the being says, not so fast. Being done with the movie means that every time you see that old movie playing in your mind, you will need to leave the theater. And he chuckles. He says that this means that when those thoughts come up from the old movie, you will not engage them, not reinforce them. You will not replay those old thoughts of littleness and scarcity and deprivation. You will not give the movie your time, your energy, your attention. Every time you think about your old movie of seek but do not find, you must disengage and abandon those thoughts. And then leave the theater in your mind. For as long as the movie holds your attention, holds value for you, I cannot change it out. If you are done with the old movie, I will help anytime, all the time. If you are not done with the old movie, I must wait until you are ready, until I am wholly invited. I can replace it for you with a much happier movie. Are you ready? This time you nod yes, but with a much better understanding. The being of light places his hand on the projector, and the movie instantly changes out to another movie. This movie also has your name on it, but the movie is called My Happy Life. You both smile. You can feel a deep sense of relief. The being of light says, this one will keep you busy until you are ready to leave the theater for good. I will let you know when it is time. For while you watch your happy life, your happy movie play out in front of you, you are actually being prepared to leave the theater. Once you leave the theater, you will enter by remembering your true home. It is waiting for you. It has always been waiting for you. and it is very, very happy. You actually have to practice being happy in order to be prepared to go home. You cannot bring lack or suffering or pain or unhappiness with you. I will help you with all of it. The being of light gives you a big hug of love and appreciation for your choice today. For every person that makes this choice brings happiness and healing to everyone. He thanks you for your willingness to be completely done with the old movie. And as you leave the projector room and head down the stairs to the theater, the being of light touches your shoulder one more time, and he hands you a big bucket of popcorn. He says, you might want this. It is a great show and a great movie. And anytime you ever need help, I am here. Call on me. Let me help you. You are worthy of everything good. Let this movie play. Allow happiness to be your way of life. You are being prepared to remember your true home, your true identity. And once you do, there will not be a trace of sorrow, not a moment of fear. Take in a nice, deep, calming breath and receive the happy divine plan. Allow yourself to receive all the blessings that you have already been given, the ones that you may not be aware of yet. Today we are here to receive them together. Let those blessings flow. We are the light. We represent the light. And in the presence of our light, there is no darkness. All right, let's pause and take a nice breath and receive all the blessings, opening your mind, your heart, welcoming higher consciousness to bring on all the good things, feeling open and safe and reinforced. All right, everyone, just doing a final closing prayer. I join with all of you here, and I so appreciate you taking this time with me, time to release those old feelings of pain and anger and resentment. And dear God, we come to you today together. We are so glad to give you all of those feelings of anger and resentment. We are so happy to have you take them from us and heal them for us. We are willing to expect miracles. If we think these are not possible, we are willing to see it anyway. We are welcoming you with our whole heart. If there's ever been a place in our mind where we are denying you and the blessings that are coming our way, we are willing to see all of this differently. Help us to see the light in others, especially those that have been difficult. We want to see the light in them, for we understand that this is the only way that we will see and know the light within ourselves. Thank you for the vision to see what you see and the wisdom to think as you think, and the love to love as you love. We are willing. Thank you for miracles in the place of all of our grievances. We welcome that you would undo all the consequences of any wrong decision, and we will let you. Amen.